So have you always felt like you were born to rule? But we live in a society where you look like a fool if you think you're ruling, or you're talking to whoever. Oh my God, all the different people we could be talking to with their own ideas about typical rulership where there's a tyrant and everybody else, right? But you're black, you're a woman, and you've always felt like you were meant to rule. Always. And in your attempts to rule, right? And again, I'm speaking with the understanding that you know what I mean, that I don't need to explain everything because you're of the line, okay? And in the attempts that you've taken, because you're a powerful woman and you know you're a powerful woman, and you found success, right? You've done wonderful things, right? And yet the real thing that you know is for you to do, right? Because we can do lots of powerful, wonderful things. No, there's a very particular thing for you to do. There's a very particular thing for you to do, and that very particular thing requires that you be in a power that you collapse under when it's time for you to really do the thing that you came for. Now, to everybody else, you look like a winner. Right? You got the money, you've done the material things, you've done all the travel, the real estate, looking good, right? You've done all that. And what they don't know, though, is that there's a very particular thing that your heart is dying to do. And that you cannot do it until you come into the signature power that your original system powers. So I've been talking a lot about the original system. It's your primal nature. It's primal in nature. And it's the raw consciousness system you were born as. You can go look at some more content on my wall if you want to hear me talk more about your original system and trusting it. You can even also go buy a meditation to help bring you back home to your body. Call it neck down power. Where that will help you really start to begin this process, or even extend, because maybe you've already started, really mature this process of coming into trusting your original system. And so now, if you know that it's your time to do the real thing, right? Because you've lived, you've done a lot, right? You're no longer compelled by the material things. You already have the material things. You have enjoyed them greatly. Been around the world, caught the same thing twice, right? You've hit a variety of countries, and you found the joy and wonder that's in hitting a variety of countries, because that is definitely a life to live, right? That is definitely experiences to be had in this lifetime. And yet your heart and soul has a very particular thing for you to do. And this collapsing that you have done, because you've probably tried to do it alone. Because the actual you, that is the intelligence of your primal original system, is so not of this world. It is so a social reject on many levels. And it calls for you to be so pristine in your way of being. And when you're with yourself, living your life, right? Doing what you do, etc., without having the iron sharpening iron experiences, without being in hyper connected relationship with fellow Black women gods who are also taking on the large responsibility of coming into intimacy with their original primal system and allowing that to be what governs and guides their steps. This is a highly rare position in life. And yet, it's as you were born. It's what you are meant for, which is why you've always felt this compelling, unquenchable call to rule. But not in the tyrant way that history has shown us through male leadership. Your leadership is very feminine. It is very inclusive of all, because you are nature. You don't just go to nature. You are nature. You are a storm. You are the ocean. You are the trees. You are the stars. And you exist in this body with work to do. So I'd like to talk to you about what it's going to take. So first of all, it's going to take hyper-connected community. I'll be talking more about that in another video, but essentially it's being in close relationship with fellow Black women gods who are also deliberately, actively, intentionally walking their unique path and bringing forth their calling on purpose, deliberately. It is a lifestyle. It's who they are. So being in hyper-connected relationship with this kind of Black woman, okay, and also engaging in the, okay, you need to go deeper. So engaging in, so we need to graduate this conversation. Okay. So you've already been doing a lot of transformational work, right? You've done a lot of healing. You probably have done a lot of shadow work. You've done the retreats and all the things. To come home to the nature of your original system, there's a deeper level for you to go. There's an environment that's required for you to become unhinged and to touch layers of yourself that you've yet to touch. Because your original system is so centered to you. It's so central, and you've developed, as I have, and all of us who have done this, you've developed so many nuanced layers to separate you from it for your own protection, to get along in the world, right? To even build up the success that you've created thus far, that the nuance that's in between the you out here and the real root original system self, you need to deal in the nuance of that. Your pristine work, your signature work is signature to you. There are signature answers. Thank you for all the hearts. There are signature answers. There are signature steps. There is no blueprint out here. I don't give it to you. Nobody gives it to you. So the high responsibility and coming into absolute, complete, and total trust, intimacy, and relationship with your original system is going to require that you come into a level of unhinged, but that there's a soft pressure, if you will. So when we think pressure, we think like pressure. But because we are the feminine way, there's a soft pressure to it. It's not this hyper out, go like that. It's a pressure, but it's a softness around the pressure where you have the environment to become unhinged and you know you're protected because you're doing this work with other Black women gods who are doing the same. So this is what I'd like to invite you into. This is how we're going to do this, okay? So I have a master program called Shadow Gold. There are several testimonials on my page if you go look at them now. Shadow Gold is a DIY program. What I'd like to do is I'd like to, for 3 months, and I'm only taking 5 women through this. I've never done this before, okay? So this is a very unique, intimate experience, okay? 5 women over 3 months, and we will be starting, I think it's the 16th, whatever is the Monday after like October 11th or something like that, okay? 5 women through Shadow Gold with hyperconnectivity focused specifically on you getting down into the layers of you where you typically collapse in your power. Okay. When I say collapse, I feel like you know what I mean, but I'm just going to put some language on it just for your brain. The brain really loves explanations. So the part of you that you know, you'll consume a lot of online content or books and meditations and like all the stuff, the information, knowledge stuff. You'll know that there's a thing for you to do. You know that there's a path for you to take. And that real path is typically one of the highest order. Okay. It's a very high path. It has large responsibility. It requires that you really exist in a way that is full of yourself, right? Full of the nature of you. And what has happened is when you have taken action from that place, but you're not surrounded by, in relationship with support that's meeting you at that level, whenever you hit something that requires that you stand at it, you'll collapse. I mean, even if you get, any level of distance operating at that level, because it's such a weighty experience, right? And not weight in like the weight of like unhealed trauma, but it's a weight in that it's grand, vast power. It's that kind of weight, right? Because it calls upon your character. It calls upon pristine language. It calls upon your thoughtfulness. It calls upon your true authenticity, not just authenticity to make you look good, you see? And so To exist at that way by yourself, most of us can't do that, which is why we collapse, because most of us are trying to do things, the real things that we're here for, by ourselves, if we're doing it at all. Most of us are playing at we're in a small pot. You know, you get a plant and it's in a small pot and then it grows. And if you don't change the pot, the plant can't grow to its potential. And that's what a lot of us are doing. So I'm inviting you to sign up for Shadow Gold. The week after October 11th, whatever that Monday is, 5 of us are going to work together intimately, okay, for 3 months, okay? All you got to do is buy Shadow Gold for this. So I'm including my presence and mentorship in this. I want you to understand. When you buy Shadow Gold as is, it's DIY. You take it and handle it. And even like doing it as that, so many women are getting huge results. I mean, you can see testimonials have even gone up today, I think yesterday or the day before. If you keep scrolling, you'll see so many testimonials. And if you just go onto the Shadow Gold page, which you can see with the link in my bio, there's, I don't even know how many testimonials there. It is a transformational root level. This is beyond, you see everybody talking about the Shadow Work Journal on TikTok. There's so much free, elementary, beginner friendly stuff out there, which is great. Obviously, right? Everybody has to start. However, if you've done the beginner stuff, right, you're not new, right? It's not your first rodeo of shadow work and transformation and retreats and change and all that. You are colossal, and you know you're colossal, and you're done going in circles. And we already know that even at successful levels, we still go in circles. We'll distract ourselves with lower projects so we don't do the real thing. I talked about that. What was it, yesterday or day before, where I talked about the 4 ways we destroy ourselves to not pursue our calling. So sign up for Shadow Gold. What I'm also going to do when you sign up for Shadow Gold is I'm going to include the masterclass. You see, I've been inviting folks into a masterclass that's happening October 11th through the 13th. It's called Trust Your Original System. You can read details about that on the page, but essentially it's for 3 days with me inside of a private Facebook group. We're going down into your original system. We're having the intimacy. Obviously, it's only the intimacy that can happen online, but it is preparing you for the next level. There's preparatory work. Even as grand as we think we are, even as powerful as we know we are, we talk, oh my God, I'm powerful. We just know we have but we are not really embodying and acting like it. If we really were, we would be running things on every level. Many of the systems that exist today would die if Black women gods really got into their role. I don't care. All this money we making, money don't mean power. Yeah, you can buy things, you can make things go away, that's nice. But when it's time for you to do the real thing that you came for, that has a whole other volition and power and ricochet and ripple in the world. And when it calls you can't sleep. I mean, so anyway, I can speak to this because I've been this. I know what it's like to collapse under your power where you want to do it, but suddenly you get tired when it's time for you to really take a powerful act. Suddenly I can't, you're hungry, you get sucked into TikTok for 3 hours, suddenly your nervousness kick in. Yeah, that's you collapsing under your power. So how do you get out of that? It's going to be in hyperconnectivity. And this is why I've been talking about this, and I'm going to keep talking about it, because none of us are going to do this in our house by ourselves, teetering on our computers by ourselves, working on another project at a low level with people who we know don't even see us, couldn't see us, wouldn't even know how to meet us in the real. So I'm going to do another video here, but go sign up for Shadow Gold right now. We start, like I said, whatever is the Monday after October 11th. That's when we start. If you have any questions, you can DM me or you can put them here in the chat. Let's go. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Let's go. If you're ready to come out with your calling, stop collapsing under your power. Let's go.